You know, Star Wars has been, to put it accurately and kindly, very hit and miss in the Disney era of Star Wars. They've had a couple of things that have been fantastic. They've had a couple of things that have been some of the worst drivel you've ever seen. I'm looking at you, The Acolyte, and Rise of Skywalker, and Mandalorian Season 3. Oh, and a whole bunch of other things. Anyway, but one of the things that they did that kind of very quietly came out, delighted almost everybody who watched it, but not a ton of people watched it, and then very kind of quietly went away, was Star Wars Skeleton Crew. This was a show that, was very out of step with everything else that Disney was doing with Star Wars. But the promise of it was, this is going to be Goonies in Star Wars land. It's the Goonies set in space. And that was the promise. And the first trailer came out for it, and it was wonderful. The trailers were great. And then the series came out, and I absolutely was in love with it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as Andor. And I don't know that it's as good as like peak Mandalorian, but it was a charming, heartwarming, fun adventure in a property being Star Wars, Rob, that is meant to be an adventure series at its heart. It's lacked a lot of adventure. And I really found that Skeleton Crew brought that adventure. It brought that Goonies feel to it. I just loved it. And we had all pretty much resigned ourselves to the idea that we're probably not going to get any more. But wait, there actually might be more. Because according to reports coming in now, this from Total Film, despite streaming struggles, because not a ton of people watched Skeleton Crew, Star Wars show Skeleton Crew may be getting a second season. Now, where this is coming from is the major trade outlet Production Weekly, which is basically kind of the Bible for the industry to know what's being in production, what's being developed, what's being worked on, when they're doing casting, when they're doing crew hiring, and all that kind of stuff. And Production Weekly apparently is saying that Skeleton Crew is now actually in development, and they're looking at doing a second one. On the one hand, this is pretty surprising because, like I said, not a ton of people watch it. Actually, Rob, I think it's fair to say that it might have been the lowest viewership rating series that they've had, at least in the Disney Plus era. I think it was the lowest viewed thing that they had, but it was also one of the highest rated ones they had. And so while I'm kind of surprised that they might be looking at doing a second season, I love the idea. And it kind of gives me some hope that the executives over there are like, okay, you know what? Not a ton of people watched it, but it was really good. And the people that did watch it enjoyed it. And the critics liked it. And the fans liked it. And hey, hell, maybe we should not just be in the business of what gets the most views. Maybe we should also be in the business of making quality content and believe that if we do a season 2, because of the quality of season 1, more people will turn out this time around. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I love the idea of them rolling the dice and making a bet on it. Bet on quality and see what happens. Maybe nobody watches it again. Maybe it does. But I know for me, Rob, I cannot wait for this thing to come back because I loved this show. I just thought it was an absolute charm and a delight. And I really hope we get to meet up with these kids again. Jude Law's character was great. So I'm thrilled about it. Anyway, Rob, you saw the report. They're saying that they're looking like there might be doing a season 2 of Skeleton Crew. Good idea, bad idea. And how did you feel about Skeleton Crew overall?
Well, first of all, I really liked Skeleton Crew. I remember the opening scene has this kind of pirate, these guys boarding another ship, this action sequence. And I loved it. I'm like, okay, this feels Star Wars-y to me. And it was something we hadn't seen before. And I was immediately locked in. I thought it was going to be, I was not excited about Goonies in space because I'm not a fan of Goonies, but come at me, bro. But I watched it and I've always loved Jude Law and I thought the show was delightful. It felt, again, you were seeing another part of the Star Wars universe that wasn't necessarily linked to like we were talking about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. In a way, it had that kind of a feel to it. And I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was really clever. I thought the performances were great. I love the visual effects. It felt like Star Wars. There was nothing I didn't like about Skeleton Crew. It just, my only criticism would be is it, it felt a little slight because Star Wars was always dealing with, we have to destroy the Death Star before it blows up the Rebel base. It wasn't like that. And I really enjoyed it. So if it comes back again, it comes back because it deservedly so should come back. And I think that somebody believes in it enough to say, okay, let's do more. And I think that's what you want.
Yeah, you know what? When you're going to have a project like this, one of the key things, if not the key thing, is the chemistry, especially with younger actors. The chemistry between the characters has to work.
Yeah.
And like, I thought they absolutely nailed that.
100%.
Like, especially amongst the kids. Like the all the stuff with the kids, where there was the young girl with the Geordie LaForge visor, and the struggles that she was having. Every kid had their own story, and every kid had their own struggle, and every kid just had this dynamic with each other. And then Jude Law just fit in perfectly with it. He was the dastardly pirate when they needed him to be, but you felt some empathy when they needed us to feel empathy. And again, just the adventure of it was just top notch. And I had a blast with it. And
yeah.
I really hope this comes through, because I'll be watching it with bells on. We want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Mando. Hey guys, I may be married now, but I remember the whole checklist we'd all go through before a first date, right? Fresh haircut, clean car, maybe you're replaying a conversation in your head like, don't screw this up. But the one thing that is absolutely non-negotiable: deodorant. And that's why for a while now, I've been using Mando. What I love most is how confident it makes me feel knowing odor is just handled, like not masked, handled. Mando is a whole body deodorant, so you can use it anywhere: pits, feet, thighs, wherever you need it. And yeah, that peace of mind is real. My personal favorite is the solid stick. It's super easy to use, goes on clean, and it just works all day. It's created by a doctor, and it's clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours, which is wild. Some guys try to cover odor with scent. Mando men get the job done right. Don't mask it, Mando it. You can find Mando at major retailers, but for the best deal, head to shopmando.com. For a limited time, new customers get 20% off site-wide plus free shipping when you use my code Campea at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com, code Campea. Support the show and check them out. Mando's got you covered. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? According to some reports, particularly coming out of Production Weekly, they're saying they're looking at developing Skeleton Crew Season 2, which I never thought we would say that, but I would love to see it. Anyway, whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.